What is going on, Coach Lodge crew? Hope you're all doing fantastic on this beautiful, beautiful Tuesday. Jumping in here, wanted to hit on a few things. Rachel, how are you? Good to see you. Donna, good to see you. If you can hear me, let me know. Would really appreciate it. And if you can't hear me, if you're like, I don't even know what he's saying, let me know that too. Just dial in. Hey, Brad, can hear you fine. That'd be awesome. Adam, how are you doing, brother? All right. So I'll make sure I can be heard. Heard is the word. Oh, we got a like going there. Someone rolled the like. Who is that? You totally win. You absolutely win. All right. So let's talk a little bit about when you should leave your current job for the intention of focusing on your coaching business. Amy, thank you. I appreciate that. I'm going to tell you. There are quite a few people, and I've said this before here in the group, there are quite a few people who will tell you, particularly gurus, who will say you need to burn the boats and back yourself into a corner so that the only thing you can do is actually succeed in your coaching business, okay? People will tell you that. Hey, leave your job, quit it, walk away, launch your coaching business, and then you'll be forced to focus only on your coaching business. Thank you so much. I appreciate that, Yang. Did I pronounce your name right? Here's what I will tell you, and this is coming from experience, and this is coming from many conversations with many new coaches, and from my experience, not only personally, but coaching new coaches, okay? When you're first starting out your coaching business, when you're first launching your coaching business, you do not want to quit your job. Now, there's a couple caveats there, okay? A couple outlying indicators that will actually affect that answer. But for most new coaches, you don't want to quit your job, and here's why. I know the gurus are telling you burn your boats, back yourself into a corner so that all you can do is make it work. However, when you're first starting out, you're not going to make 6 figures or 7 figures in your first 90 days. In fact, if you do all of the work and you follow a process, and it's a proven process, and you're getting help and you're being supported and you have a team and you've got a crew and you've got a coach or a consultant who's helping you figure this all out, even then, it will take several weeks before you enroll your first client. For some of you, you've never owned a business before, and all of this is brand new. Not just the coaching, but the marketing and enrolling people and having those conversations and building your platform and building your influence and focusing in on your niche and getting your messaging down straight, and then getting past all of the mental framing, emotional fitness issues of engaging with people and having conversations with people and not being afraid to say, I think I can help you. And then explaining your offer and getting your offer down and getting your package down. It's just, there's a lot to it. Granted, you're not going to make 6 figures or 7 figures in 90 days. You're just not. I don't care what all the marketers are telling you. They just want you to buy and enroll in their program. And I'm being honest with you, okay? 6 figures, 7 figures in 90 days for a brand new coach. You're not going to do it. Okay. I hope you're not too disappointed. So if you leave your job, Tina, I got it. Thank you. If you leave your job to launch your coaching business, I admire your courage. However, there is a bandwidth that gets taken up in your brain for survival. And if you can't pay your food, if you can't pay your rent, if you can't pay for your car, if you can't pay for your health insurance, if you can't pay all of those things, then that will begin to suck up the bandwidth that you need to engage people, craft your messaging, get focused on your niche, starting to engage people. It'll soak it all up and you will feel paralyzed. And then this is what will happen, and it's a tragedy, but what will happen is the next person you go to talk to, you're going to feel like, oh, I have to enroll this person. And why this is a tragedy is because then you don't get to do what's best for them. It becomes harder because your nervous system is saying, if you don't make some money right now, we can't pay the bills. And that's a terrible, terrible way to operate as a coach, particularly as a new coach. You want to care for your potential clients. You want to do what's best for them. And if it's best for them to enroll in your program, but you don't have that bandwidth, then you won't be doing what's best for them. You'll just be doing what you feel like you need to do for survival. You also won't have the courage to say the kind of things you need to say and challenge people around some of their mindset issues before they work with you because you're afraid you'll scare them off, right? It's worst case scenario, and I talk to lots of coaches regularly who they've quit their job, they're trying to launch their coaching business, then they find me, we get on the phone and they say, oh, you'd be so proud of me, I just left my job, I'm going to do this full time. And I ask, well, how many months of savings do you have left? And they say, well, I've got to start enrolling clients this month to pay my bills. And so my first piece of advice to them is always go get a job and then we'll launch your coaching business, right? Why? Because you need relief. You need that bandwidth so that you can actually be creative, okay? Now there's a couple caveats to that. One is if you have money in savings so that you can quit your job and you can pay your bills for the next 6 months, then I would consider saying, yes, leave your job. The second one is if you have a spouse or a partner and you have or some kind of 2 or maybe even 3 income household and they're willing to support you in this venture, then absolutely leave your job and coach full time, right? Put all your time into your coaching business. Does that make sense? So that's step 1. Don't leave your job if you don't have any clients, okay? There is a mathematical equation, and we can talk about it, that tells us when is it time to leave our full-time job and focus on our current job, or focus on our coaching business. All of that mathematical equation, that has everything to do with cost opportunity and your ability to scale down your spending in your personal life and support your family or just yourself, if it's just yourself, okay? So there's a lot that goes into that. But basically, is the time you're spending at your full-time job now costing you? Because you've seen that you can enroll clients, you've seen that you can do it on a consistent basis, and now anytime you spend away from marketing and helping potential clients and engaging is taking away from. You take away from that time. You don't want to do that. So there is a time and a point, and it will be scary. Let me just tell you right now, it will be scary. Remember, I left my job. I had whittled it down to an extremely part-time job where I was only taking in $1,000 a month, and I was making $5,000 to $7,000 a month as a coach. But I was hanging on to that $1,000 a month paycheck, even though it was costing me an opportunity to grow my coaching business because I was scared. And so it'll just be scary. It just will. So we can talk about that mathematical formula, okay? However, don't quit your day job when you're first starting, okay? Unless you have savings or you have someone else in your household that is bringing in money that will let you do that. The other thing is, some of you then, I know because of conversations, you've looked at coaching because you're so wiped out from your job. Your job just drains you, right? My advice to you would be, if your job is draining you, if you feel like you just can't do it anymore, if you feel like it's killing you, my advice to you would be, look for another job while you're launching your coaching business. But because I've been there, I was in a job. I wanted to move. I lived in a very, very small town, and I wanted to leave that job so bad, but there were no other opportunities there. So I knew I was going to be there for at least another 6 months. It was a great job in terms of the impact I had on the world. However, just so much dysfunction among the staff, particularly the CEO. And so what I needed to do was stick it out for another 6 months. So I had to completely adjust my mental framing and my emotional fitness. Okay, and what I'm going to tell you to do right now, most people, you're coaches, so you'll get this, but most people write this off and just say, oh, that's too simple. But trust me, it's not. If you're at a job that you can't stand, but you need to be there because you need to continue to pay the bills while you're launching your coaching business, you need to sit down, get serious about 5 things, write down 5 things, 5 reasons why you would choose to stay at that job. Not 5 things you can benefit from. 5 reasons why you would choose to stay at that job, and think through it until you find them. And that will make a shift for you. And then you need to focus on those reasons, right? For me, it was I was learning from one of the greatest entrepreneurial minds at the time. He just happened to be a terrible manager, but he had a we can do anything mentality. And so I started paying attention and focusing and writing down ideas and writing down thoughts, so that when it came time for me to go full-time in my coaching business, I took his same entrepreneurial spirit and apply it in my business. So if you're a full-time coach, awesome, good for you, you're doing it. If you just started, do not burn the boats. If you burn the boats, meaning don't quit your job, because if you burn the boats while you're still at sea, you will drown. There's a time. It's when you're getting really close to the shore, or you're already hit the shore and you've been on land for a little while and you're gaining some momentum, and it looks like you're at the tipping point where you can begin to pay the bills, all of them, with your coaching business. Dan says, I am now in a position to go all in. I've left my job and I now work from home, self-employed. Yeah, perfectly. And that's a perfect example of what to do, right? That's fantastic. Leanne, we maybe should talk. If you're looking for accountability, if you're looking for motivation, self-discipline, that might be a conversation we should have. We should jam on that. JB, what's going on, brother? I think we just became friends. It's a balance between the security the full-time job gives and the time it takes away from connecting with clients. Yes, absolutely. And I'll just tell you, here's what I like about Gary Vee. He tells it like it is. Now, I do not get off on hustle and grind. If that's all you do all your life, I'm not sure that's the life I want to live. However, there are ways you can get creative. I worked my 2 jobs, which is the equivalent of a full-time job. And then I had 2 young daughters as a single dad. So I would schedule my West Coast clients. I'd schedule them after my daughters would go to bed, like 8 to 9, 9 to 10, 10 to 11, or 9 to 10, 10 to 11, 11 to 12 if I had to, right? And then you just take advantage of every single opportunity you can to connect with your potential clients, right? It's the beauty of what we do is it can be done while you're waiting in line for movie tickets. I literally engage and have conversations over email, messenger, text with potential clients while I'm standing in line waiting for movie tickets. Because here's the thing, you have to pay your bills, and then you have to do what you have to do to grow your coaching business. So there's a time period there as you're getting liftoff where you actually have to spend more energy, at least until you hit the stratosphere, where it takes less fuel and energy propulsion to actually get through. Does that make sense? All right, any questions about working a job? I know for some of you, like, I just want to quit my job and launch my coaching business. I'm telling you, that stress will suck up so much bandwidth. It'll make it difficult to have honest conversations with good people who need help. And that is the name of the game. Honest conversations with good people who need help. All right. Any thoughts before we wrap up? Or any questions? I'll hang out for a couple more minutes. Unless there are any more questions, then it's dinner time. Grilled chicken and risotto. I think that's what's on the menu for dinner tonight. All right, you're all fantastic. Continue being fantastic. This is such a great group. If you're new to the group, check out the units. If you're a brand new coach, definitely get in those units right away. If you are an experienced coach, a full Steve, what's up, my brother from another mother? I am talking to you Thursday. Boom. I believe it is 2 p.m. Go, Steve, go. Is this a question about the Saints or the Niners? Tina says, what would you recommend as far as putting money away for retirement? I mean, it really depends on your comfort level with risk. So, Tina, if you're doing this well, you're making sure that you're not spending so much personally that no matter what job you're in, even a single part-time job, you're paying yourself first and putting some money away into savings over and over and over again. Every paycheck. In fact, if you can get it taken out of your paycheck before you even see it, that's even better. Then if you have your coaching business, you want to make sure that you're putting some money away, even if it's just a little bit every month, to secure yourself some funds for dark days. You know, if the economy tanks, you can still enroll clients. But then you also have this extra padded comfort level in your savings, and then you can decide how much of this do I want to put towards my retirement, how much of this do I want to put towards investing. Does that make sense? Steve, when do you know if you're being insane, and when do you know if you've done well to launch? Steve, it will depend on how much money you're making with what you've launched, because you can launch and work a job, right? It is the best way to go. I've talked to so many people, I've seen so many coaches who quit their job before it's the right time to quit their job. They get 2 months in, they're running out of money, they've enrolled a couple clients, but not enough, and they freak out and they start going crazy with their messaging. They start pressuring people to buy from them. It's an ugly, ugly scene. So you know when the right time is, when your income from your coaching is getting to about 60 or 70% of what you make at your full-time job, or a better indicator is 60 or 70% of what you need to pay your bottom line bills, right? So if that means get rid of cable, get rid of cable, right? If that means stop eating out sushi, stop eating out sushi, right? Whatever it is, you can cut back your expenses. It's something I went through when I launched. And then when I started going full time, I was like, I'm going to cut back my expenses just to make sure I can hit what I need to hit every month by what I've already done in the past. That's when it's time to start thinking about, okay, it's time to quit and launch. Or not launch. I would launch while you have your job. It's just time to focus on your coaching business full time. It's high. It's high, Steve. But you have to be able to see the model. If you've enrolled 3 clients over a 2-month period and you're at 60%, it might not be enough. But I'm telling you, that bandwidth that gets sucked up by feeling like, oh, I'm running out of money. People, I've only got 4 more months of money left to pay my bills. They start freaking out. They start doing things that are erratic. They don't look like the leader they need to look like. Does that make sense? Me too, Steve. I'm looking forward to it, brother. I'm looking forward to it. Normally I'm not on this late, but we got some Fortnite and Twilight going on in the living room, and I'm not having any of that. So I thought I'd pop in here and hang out with you all for a few minutes before I cook dinner. All right. These are good questions. Those are good questions, Tina. Great questions, Steve. I'll tell you this. You're not insane. I know you're not insane, so we don't have to worry about that. All right, everybody have a great evening, and I will talk with you later.